November was a month of anticipation and suspense. In the US political landscape, November 2024 was more than just another month. It was a historic moment poised to capture the world's attention. Election day came and went, and the two leading US presidential contenders, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, intensified their campaigns. Voters and political entities worldwide found themselves divided between these two figures. Trump, a former president, brought a distinctive philosophy shaped by his public persona and personal history. Meanwhile, Harris, the current vice president, has built an impressive legacy in American politics over the years. Based on these antecedents, can we say that Trump could secure a second term, or that Kamala Harris had a part to making history as the next president? In this documentary, we will explore their backgrounds, personalities, and records, examining the factors that could have influenced their chances at the high-stakes race to the White House during the 2024 USA presidential elections. Let us look at Trump's biography. Donald John Trump came to this world on 14 June 1946 in New York City, USA. His parents were Fred and Mary Ann Trump. Trump had his education at the private Kew Forest School. When he was 13 years, he enrolled in the private New York Military Academy. Afterwards, in 1964, he furthered to Fordham University. In 1966, Donald went to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania on transfer, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Economics in 1968. Almost 50 years later, in 2015, a series of controversial and legal issues surrounding Donald Trump's education surfaced between his lawyer and Trump colleges. This was a result of his unstable presence while he was in college between 1966 to 1972. Donald was reportedly deferring his study program from time to time for 7 years due to his other numerous engagements. What about his lifestyle? Donald may come as a unique individual to many people, but he claimed that he had never consumed illicit substances before, like smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, or consuming drugs. Elsewise, he is considered to be an healthy man without recorded health challenges, despite how he avoids exercise or sleeping up to 8 hours daily. On his business and fortune, at the age of 22 in 1969, Donald's work life began at his New York-based family company that dealt in real estate. His dedication to the company elevated him to the post of the president, a promotion bestowed on him by his father, Fred Trump, in 1971. Although a successful business tycoon with several giant stride establishments in the US, Donald's transactions over the decades have been flawed, with debts running into hundreds of millions of dollars. He sustained his ventures with loans that always got him into trouble. However, he triumphed over the obstacles and recorded impressive achievements that surpassed his debts. But his precise net worth has been a subject of debate for decades. Notable media outlets reported varying figures. Bloomberg estimates his assets to be around $6.61 billion, while Forbes believes it's worth $6.5 billion. For Wall Street Journal, Donald's wealth is around 7.5 to $10 billion. However, none of these figures can be 100% substantiated. Now let us look at how his political journey began. From business to politics, Donald Trump ventured into the intriguing game in 1987 under the Republican umbrella. He further pushed himself into the political world in 1988 when he approached Lee Atwater, requesting to be George Bush's running mate as a Republican. Years later, he started taking meticulous steps towards realizing his presidential ambition in 2000 under the aegis of the Reform Party. At the Conservative Political Action Conference (CPAC) in 2011, Trump's first political speaking engagement was realized, but he later stepped down from the race and announced that the mission was aborted. Other hiccups followed him around for years, and people viewed him as an unserious politician who just loved messing around. But his re-emergence in 2015 during the former US presidential campaign for Barack Obama shocked the world. He relaunched himself, and his unique style of public speaking endeared millions of followers to him. He rose through the ranks and succeeded at the Republican National Convention in 2016. Despite his flaws as a public figure, Donald took the world by storm when he won the presidential elections on November 8, 2016. His victory was rare because he lost the popular vote, the fifth of its kind in American presidential history. Unlike the past presidents, Donald Trump had never been to the military before, and his decades of professional life never took him to the White House for any government job or position. 30 states that were previously dominated by the Democrats in the 1990s voted in Trump's favor. Aggrieved protesters who disliked Donald Trump staged protests across the USA, but nothing stopped his inauguration. Let's look at the highlights of his administration. He restructured and indirectly removed many projects established by his predecessor, Barack Obama. He reinstated the Mexican City. He appointed his daughter, Ivanka Trump, and her husband, Jared Kushner, into his office. He breached the domestic and foreign emolument clauses of the US Constitution, leading to legal battles. He signed into law the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, a bill sponsored by Congress. However, no Democratic vote was recorded. During his term, America experienced budget deficits. His government lost an estimated 3 million workforce by the end of his tenure. What about his foreign dealings? Priding himself as a die-hard American and a nationalist, Donald Trump had a lot going on for him with many countries across the world. Let us check them out one by one. China started a trade war with Donald Trump. Or should we say, Donald Trump started a trade war with China. Billions of dollars were lost in the process, which was very unfortunate. Russia. Donald Trump soft-pedaled on Russia, loosening the firm grip that the USA already had on the European country. His relationship with the Russian President Vladimir Putin was mutual, but Trump tackled many Russian policies. North Korea. Donald Trump started on a bad note with the North Korean President Kim Jong-un. For a few years while Trump was in power, contentions flew between the two leaders. This was largely due to the nuclear activities coming from North Korea to the USA. However, as time went by, the two men formed an understanding and were seen together in friendly circumstances more than once. Trump visited Kim 3 times, which was an historical achievement for Trump because no American president had ever met a North Korean leader while in power. Israel. Trump had a mutual relationship with Israel and even helped the country to reestablish Jerusalem as its capital. Afghanistan. Trump sent more USA soldiers to Afghanistan, a decision which was contrary to his earlier campaign promise not to interfere in Afghanistan's issues again. In 2020, he and the Taliban signed a treaty and all foreign troops were recalled from Afghanistan. Trump attempted a second term by contesting in 2020 against President Joe Biden, but he lost. His reputation was marred with many criminal charges, particularly the attack on the US Capitol. Many people died during the violence, and Trump was accused of being responsible for the tragedies. Not willing to accept defeat, he clamored for justice regarding the election results that brought Joe Biden to the White House, but all Trump's efforts proved abortive. In 2024, he picked up his political suitcase again and contested for the presidency. On 13 July 2024, while campaigning at Pennsylvania, an unknown assailant shot at him from the crowd. The bullet grazed his right ear and he was rushed out of the venue. On the 3rd, Trump continued to promote his intentions to become the USA president for the second time, slugging it out with the Vice President Kamala Harris. Now let us look at Kamala Harris's biography and see how she comes in. Born Kamala Devi Harris in 1964, the 49th U.S. Vice President was raised in Oakland, California. The Harris family consists of scholars. Harris's father, Donald Harris, belonged to an Afro-Jamaican descent. He came to the United States in 1961 and was admitted to the UC Berkeley. His area of specialty focused on development economics. Donald was also the first African scholar who obtained a Stanford University tenure at the school economics department, and he is currently an emeritus at the same university. Kamala's mother, Shyamala Gopalan, worked as a biologist and a researcher. She left India and came to the United States in 1958. She later gained admission as a graduate student at the University of California, Berkeley. Education. Kamala's educational sojourning included, in 1981, Westmount High School in Montreal. She went to Vanier College, Montreal, between 1981 to 1982. Then she proceeded to Howard University, which is popular for being a Black-dominated university in Washington, D.C. While there, Kamala joined the Alpha Kappa Alpha, a branch organization of the Divine Nine established years ago for Black sororities. Kamala obtained a degree in political science and economics in 1986. She moved to the University of California, Hastings College of the Law in San Francisco. During her time there, she became the president, leading the chapter of the Black Law Students Association. In 1989, she graduated as a Juris Doctor. Moving on to her professional life.